Good evening, y'all, and welcome back to Apron Strings. Got my canning apron on, and I told y'all I was going to make some tomato relish or salsa, or whatever you want to call it. Well, I did something different this time. I cut the tops off of my tomatoes, and I froze them in gallon bags so that when I took them out, the peeling would just slip right off. I wouldn't have to do the dip them in boiling water for a minute and then in ice water heat my kitchen up in a big mess. And I didn't turn the camera on. But those peelings, as they started to thaw, slipped right off the tomatoes. Now I had used my little special tool here that I've showed y'all before, and I showed you how I put it down in the jalapenos and turn them and get the seed out. I did that, and I chopped my onions and my peppers in the Cuisinart. So I'm going to bring you over to the pot and let you look at what I've got in there, because what I've done so far, forgot to turn the camera on. So I'm going to show you what I've got so far, and then we're going to cook it and jar it up and can it. So y'all can follow me from now to the rest of the process. This is the absolute best relish, we call it relish salsa, that I've ever tasted. And a friend of mine gave me the recipe 40-something years ago, and I can't tell you how many gallons of it that I've made. So I do love freezing the tomatoes instead of having to boil them to get the peelings off, though. Man, that cut down on the time and the heat, and it's just great. So let me get you over to the boiler pot and let you see what it looks like, and I'll talk to you again about what I've done. This has to come up to a boil and boil for an hour, and then it's ready to jar. And into the pot I have added my vinegar, salt, and sugar that the recipe calls for. Now I'm doubling it, so it'll be double what's on the recipe card. So you boil your peppers, onions, and tomatoes, salt, sugar, and vinegar, and then you jar it up. So I'll get y'all over there and let you look at it, and then I'll boil it away. When I get ready to jar it up, I'll bring y'all back and y'all can listen to me talk while I work. Okay, the tomatoes are in the bottom because some of them are still kind of frozen. And then you can see the onions that I used, my sweet Vidalia onions, and the jalapenos are chopped in there. And I'll be stirring it up here in a minute when the tomatoes start to thaw a little more, and y'all can see what it looks like. Okay, I've got my rings waiting. I've got my lids in my little pot, and a little closer to time I'm going to heat it to where they'll be hot. Some people say you don't have to do that. I like to get that hot where I think it seals better. And then I wanted y'all to see it's fixing to start boiling. And it has to boil or simmer for an hour. I've got my jars sterilized, but I have them in the oven to keep them good and hot where they'll be ready to fill. I have my pressure canner ready to get it started. So here we are. Okay, y'all, it's starting to boil. So I've set my timer for an hour, and I'll be back in a little bit and we'll jar it up. What I have left from one cooker, because I'm going to double stack my pints, I'm just going to put it in a quart jar or 2 or 3 quarts in an ice box because we'll eat it. I'm not going to do 2 cookers tonight. Okay, y'all, it's been boiling an hour. Got it ready. I have my funnel here. My ladle is right here. I have my paper towel and my vinegar. I have my lifter to get my lids that I have over here on the stove heating. I've got my pressure canner getting ready. I have my jars in the oven, keeping them hot until I'm ready to use them. And my rings are ready over here to put on last. Now I washed my jars, I sterilized them in the dishwasher, and then I put them in the oven to keep them hot. So I'm fixing to get the camera back on the tripod and we'll start filling jars. Jars out here, ready to start with. Get it where y'all can see over here. I hope you can see. I put the pot on that side hoping you'd be able to see over here when I started filling. Last night we went to Beaumont to celebrate Lauren's birthday, and we ate at Mellow Mushroom. And if you've never been to Mellow Mushroom, do yourself a favor and see if there's one in your area. The first one I went to, we were visiting a friend in Tennessee, and we went to one out there, loved it. Then last fall, when April and Lauren and Haley and I went to Branson, we ate in one at Branson. And then we came home to look and see if there's one in our area, and sure enough, there's one at Beaumont, which is a little over an hour away. So we went over last night and had one birthday celebration. I'm sure we'll do another one or two. Her birthday's tomorrow. Okay, I hope y'all can see. I really can't tell, and I'm tired, and I'm just going to keep talking and doing. Get these done and in the cooker, and then I'll get some more jars out and get busy. I'm going to do a full double-decker of salsa. And then, like I said, what's left, unless there's a lot left, I'm going to put it just in jars in the refrigerator for us to have. Okay, let me wipe my rims with my vinegar. This is to get any oil or splashes off where they'll seal good. And even taking every precaution, every now and then you'll have some that don't seal. And that makes me so sad and aggravated when I go to the trouble to fix stuff and then end up I have some that don't seal. That one needs a little more. Okay, let me get my little getter here. Put my lid on. Oh, shucks. We didn't get any salsa on it, so it's still good. That's a wonder. It's dancing all around. These are not burning hot, but it's smoking. I called my friend or texter that I got this recipe from, and I said, tell me again where your mother got the recipe, and she said she made it up. Now, Sister Rogers has been gone 34 years, so she made this recipe many years ago, and I got the recipe before she passed away, so I've been making this recipe a long time. I told Retha, I said, I love you all over again every time I make this salsa. I love it. Okay, I'm going to get these first 5 in the cooker, and then I'm going to continue to fill them, and when I get it full I'll come back and show y'all what I've got going. Got 16 jars in here. I've got them double stacked with a rack between them. I'm going to put my lid on, and the way we've always done this salsa is we let it vent for 10 minutes when the steam starts coming out. Then I bring it up to 5 pounds pressure for 5 minutes. Then I let it naturally release, and it puts a seal on them that will last until you eat it, basically. So, may not be an approved method. This is how this has always been made. You make your own decision if you want to water bath it for 15 minutes or if you want to do this method. This has always worked for me. So I'll bring y'all back when I'm taking it out and listening to it sing its song, and then I can go rest. Okay, see the steam coming out? I've got to do that for 10 minutes, and then I'll put the weight on it and load it up to 5 pounds for 5 minutes. Okay, I've got the weight on it, and I'm going to let it build up to 5 pounds. I'll time it for 5 minutes, then I'll turn the fire off, and when the pressure dies back down and I can take the lid off, I'll show y'all my salsa when I'm getting it out and putting it on the canning mat to cool. I'll let it cool overnight, and then in the morning I'll take the rings off and I'll wash it in hot soapy water, dry the jars off, mark the top that it was Salsa made in 24, and it'll be ready to put in the pantry. So I'll be back in just a little bit, show y'all the finished product. Hey, I'm happy. The little valve dropped down. It doesn't matter if your gauge gets to 0, the valve has to drop. So my valve has dropped. I'm going to take my weight off, and I told y'all before, always open it away from yourself because the steam will get you. Woohoo! This is when I'm always happy because I'm tired from all the work, and when I get to this point, I'm almost done. Let me get my lifter. I hid it somewhere from myself, and I'll get my jars out and get them over here on the mat. And y'all won't see me putting them on the mat, but I'm just going to show you one here. And when you get them out, you don't tilt them. There'll be water on the top. Anytime you're canning, don't tilt it. Just go ahead and put it over there. And then in the morning, you can blot that water off if it hadn't dried up. But don't tilt it because it could affect the seal. Okay, y'all, I'm going to do my best to get this video edited. Hear them, they're starting to sing, yes. And uploaded where you'll have it like tomorrow or the next day. And I'm going to get the rest of them out, and then I'm going to go and sit down and rest a while. I'll be back in a day or two with another recipe. Got some good ones that I want to do, and we'll try to keep going. Now, for those of y'all that are going to be asking, the tropical system so far has not affected us. Galveston, I understand that Galveston's getting some storm surge and some flooding. We haven't even hardly had any rain here. So maybe we're going to miss it this time. I hope so. I will, I think I'm going to show y'all the garden on the next video. And I've got some more stuff. So I'll be back in a day or two. Keep me in your prayers today. I'm tired. I don't know. I'm just out of energy. But I'll get my batteries charged up and be back in here doing something else. The good Lord bless y'all. And thank you so much for watching.